Hey everybody, it's Juggernos here. I feel that this video is long overdue. I'm gonna be doing a review of the candy grips that FadeGrips offers. FadeGrips right here. Well, so first off, I am this person, FadeGrips. So we're going to be doing a review of the candy grips, and also show you guys how to put them on. All that good shit too. Yeah. Now, I only have 3 sets of the candy grips because the other 2 sets I used for my roommate and her husband's controllers because they have they were in need of some grips for their controllers as well. So first off, we're gonna start with my favorite color, the pink and green ones. Nice, pretty pink and pretty green. The other 2 colors that I have are like a gray and a black and a red and a black, but you're not going to see those because those are on the other controllers. So first off, I use these, the pink and green ones, on my PlayStation controller. Now if you look and see the PlayStation controller, right, there is no padding left right here. It's just wore down, completely bare. So as you can imagine, playing with a controller that is like that is just terrible. It is terrible for me, it is terrible for the people that I'm playing with, it is terrible for my thumbs, it's terrible for the controller because I want to throw the controller across the room. So I needed to get some grips. And who else then? FadeGrips. So if you're missing the padding on your controller, don't worry, they go on really easy. You just pop them on. It's literally easier than anything else to put them on this one, because they just pop on because there's nothing there to fight them. Now with these things, right, they are squishy. They have the little ridges on them which give you that extra grip, and then the type of like material that they're made out of just gives you an amazing fucking grip when it comes to these things. I absolutely love them. So one of the things, right, I use my Elite controller a lot. My Elite controller has the paddles on the back that I can use for button mapping. I can use this one for sprint, this one for melee, and this one for E. So I do that so that way I'm not having to push the joysticks in a lot to, sprint or to melee. Well, for the longest time, I've been killing my thumbs because I would have to, push the joysticks in on these, and it would hurt my thumbs after a little while. But with these grips on, these grips are soft and they absorb most of that. They absorb most of the pressure, even without having any of the padding left on the grip itself. So, in all honesty, it gives you a lot better control because you have absolutely wonderful grip, and pushing them in is a lot softer because, again, they're soft and they're squishy and they're comfortable, and they absorb a lot of that pressure. So I can sit here and push this button in all day long, and it's not gonna hurt my thumbs at that point. And I do a lot of sprinting in my zombie games. All right, so that's for the PlayStation controller. Nice. It's nice. I don't know how else to put it. They were absolutely needed for this controller. Now we're gonna move on to the Xbox 360 controller because I still play on my 360. Now this one, the paddles on these are a lot wider, they're a lot larger, but they're really thin. And I don't know if you guys have played around with your Xbox 360 controller, if you've had them for very long. I mean, they're pretty old now. So again, another issue with these is pushing the joysticks in. Well, these are the pushing in on these is actually kind of messed up. So I have issues pushing them in oftentimes. So I have to push harder, and I actually have to put a lot more force into it. And there's no grip left on these whatsoever. My fingers just slide right off of them, no issue. There's no resistance left whatsoever. So we're gonna put our handy dandy little orange or red and yellow Fade Grip Candy Grips. We're gonna slide them on. Now with these, it's a little bit more difficult because you have to start at one side and then pull it to the back side and push it down on the back side. Oh, and it popped off. So you start at one side, pull to the other side, and then it goes on. And it doesn't move at all because of how wide these grips are. or because of how wide the joysticks are, the grips do not move whatsoever. Once you have them on, they are stuck in place and will never move. So again, the ridges on it give you added control, give you a little bit added grip and added control to it. And again, my fingers are not going to slide off of this nowhere near as much, if at all, ever. And again, pushing in on it, they absorb a lot of that pressure pushing it in. So whenever I'm playing with a 360 controller and I really have to put the effort in to push it in, it takes a lot of that stress and stuff off of my thumbs from having to push these in so much. But again, it just gives you absolute wonderful control. Your thumbs aren't going to get sweaty from holding on to these. Now for the cream of the crop, right? My nice little fancy Elite controller. Now you guys are thinking, oh, but the Elite controller comes with 3 different size, joysticks. Why would you need grips for that? Well, you're thinking, okay, so it comes in 3 different sizes, 3 different styles. Why would you need grips? And also, you have the things on the back, so you're not going to be pushing them in. So the only time that I use the grips on my 360, on my Xbox One or my Elite controller, right, is when I'm using the medium size one that goes outwards like that. Now it does fit on all 3, the large one, the medium size, and the small one. It fits on all of them, but the only time I use it on my Elite controller is when I'm using these. And you're like, oh, what are you using these for? I use these for any time that I'm playing a competitive game where I have to have quick reflexes, aiming at people, quick maneuvering, and just like get the drop on somebody, because I have to aim quickly and I have to be able to hit them. So again, it's a lot easier to put these on the one controllers, because you can actually take the grip off. You can actually take it off, take this off, and put it on. So we're gonna go ahead and put both of these on real quick. And I'm going to show you what it looks like now. So with this, it does move around a little bit, like it will turn, but that's because these are smaller. They're not as large as the other ones. And a big difference with these, right? Whenever you put it on this one, because it's outward rather than your typical inward on these, it makes the grip itself completely flat. Whereas if you look at like a 360 controller, it goes inwards. Whereas this one, it's completely flat. So we put them on there. The reason that I use these, and the reason that I like that they're so flat, right, on here, is because not only do they give me that added, traction to my finger with the ridges and with the type of material that it's made out of, I'm not going to be pushing in on these joysticks. I'm not going to be pushing in on these as much. So it's not going to need to absorb, the pressure from my thumbs, because I've got this stuff back here for pushing these in. But with it being flat, it gives me a lot better, in my opinion, it gives me a lot better control over the joysticks. I have better precision aiming when I'm using stuff like this, because, I have much better grip, it's the reason they're called grips, on the joystick itself. And if I do have to push it in on these, the outside edges will smush down because of the way that the controller is shaped. So even if I do have to push it in for some reason, it gives me even more control. So I could push it in and put pressure on it, and the grip itself is going to conform to my thumb. So I'm going to have pretty much ultimate control over this joystick if I push it in and use it pushed in, which is absolutely wonderful. Either way, I showed you guys the grips on the PlayStation controller, the Xbox 360 controller, and the Xbox One controller. I really hope you guys purchase yourself some grips. Be sure to use the code Juggernaut, which is, the code right here, Juggernaut, on this website. In the description below, there will be a link to the website. And also, again, I will type in the promo code you may use to get your 15% discount from FadeGrips. Why not? Hope you guys enjoyed my review of the Candy Grips from FadeGrips.